Hello everyone. Hi, it's been a long time, and recently I have asked this question in my YouTube channel that what kind of questions you guys have most regarding application to different universities, especially Korean universities. And most of you had this question regarding essays, how you're going to write your essays and personal statement and study plan while applying to different universities. So in this video, it's going to be all about essays and personal statements, and I will give you my tips which helped me get into top universities, and I hope this will be helpful for you too. So without any longer introduction, let's get right into the video. So before getting into the whole essay thing, I'm gonna tell you essays are one of the most important criteria for your application to any kind of university you're applying to. And why is that? Especially I will talk about Seoul National University and why writing essays for that university is very crucial. Writing a good essay is so important for that university. So remember in my first video, I talked about when you're going to apply to Seoul National University, in their website, there is going to be 10 slots to write about your extracurricular activities, right? I will show you here the 10 slots that I am mentioning right now. So this is the 10 slots that I'm talking about. So in these 10 slots, you get to talk about your extracurricular activities, but not in detail. You just have to mention them like in lists, right? So you can't really explain anything from there. You can't really share your experience about those extracurricular activities. You don't even get to explain what you learned from those extracurricular activities, how it affected you personally and all of that. So in that case, essays are more crucial in that, because since you can't really explain your experiences and the importance of those extracurricular activities in those 10 slots, it's better to write about those in your essays. That is why essay writing and writing a good essay is very important for applying to Seoul National University especially. Since I've covered why essays are really important, let's get right into the tips of how to write a good essay for Korean universities. And now I will tell you why I have been mentioning that Korean essays are really different for writing essays for Western universities. In case of America and all of those, when you're applying to those universities, they usually focus on more creative essays, like how good you are in like storytelling and writing in a twist and creative way to write those essays. But from my experience, what I found was Korean universities usually focus in their essays like to the point. They want questions and they want you to answer them to the point and not in like very fancy creative storyline way. Not like that. Be to the point with the essays that you're writing for Korean universities. That really worked for me for all the universities that I applied to. So in this video, we are going to divide it into two parts. Number one, I'm going to give you my tips that worked for me while writing my essays. And secondly, I'm going to give you the questions that I got for applying when I was applying for Seoul National University, Ulsan National Institute of Science and Technology, KAIST, and others. I will give you all those questions so you can get an idea of what kind of questions you do have to answer. I will also tell you how you can incorporate my tips in those essays. So I hope this will be helpful in that way. So let's get into the tips section of this video. So in your essays, they mostly want to know about you, your academic life, your extracurricular activity, any sort of experience that affected you personally, that shaped your personality, and they also want to know about your study plan. These are the kind of the most common questions that you're going to get in any sort of university application process in Korea. So first and foremost, students think that the admissions committee will not read each and every one of your essays, and you're absolutely right. They will not. They will read the most attractive ones which catch their attention. So the attractive ones that actually catch their attention are the ones that get more scores. So you have to stand out in the beginning of your essay. Like, let me tell you my number one tip. Do not Start your essay with something as typical as, "Hi, my name is Anisha. I'm from Bangladesh. I have two sisters and I'm a very good student with a GPA of 4.5 out of 5. No, please don't start like that. That's very basic. Please don't be so boring with your essays. There are going to be 100 essays with the same type of introduction. You have to stand out. So how are you gonna do it? Add a title to your essay. They do not necessarily ask for titles when they ask to write the essay in their application form, but you can do it yourself. Write a catchy essay title, okay, and follow along with it. Write a catchy first sentence. The introduction should be catchy as hell. You cannot go with your name and how many brothers and sisters you have. That's not how you write an essay. The admissions committee already know your name, your family member, your gender, your CGPA from your application form. So you do not have to mention that again in your essay. Please do not waste your essay. And that gets me to my number 2 tip. The essays that you are going to write are going to have a word limit, obviously. Like for Seoul National University, I had a character limit of 3000 bytes, so I had to complete all 3 of my essays, each 3000 byte. That's it. And even for your GKS scholarship, you get to write 1 page with a font size 11. So you have really less space to talk about in your essays. So you have to be very smart on how you are going to use those word limit that you are given. Start with a catchy line. Give a title, start with a catchy line, and then write your essay. Use every word with meaning. Like every line that you're writing there should have meaning, should have some sort of significance. Every line that you write there should say something about you, something new about you, that is going to let them know you as a person, as a student, how you are going to be an important addition to that university that you are applying to. Don't be basic. Please don't be boring in your essays. Now, when I say don't be boring in your essays, please don't start writing stories. Please don't do that. Write things write about your experiences, what you learned from them, and all of that. But don't go in a storyline way. Korean universities do not like that. I'm saying that from my experience, that is. My next tip is, please do not list your awards, your certificates, your campaigns that you did, all the achievements that you have. Please do not list them. Like, please don't go like, I was the leader of my college. Or please don't go like, I have a math Olympiad award. Don't go like that. Instead, what you can do is, write your award. Like, go in this way that I have a debate championship award. I have gotten an award in a national debate championship and I was the best speaker. What I learned from that experience is the power of critical thinking, and my social skills improved. Now I can explain better. Now I can think more precisely, and I got more knowledgeable while I was competing in debate championships. So write in this way. Name an award, then say what you learned from it and how that experience shaped you, why it was important for you, and how it made you stand out from others. Go like this. Do not list your awards like one by one. Don't go listing your awards, because that will make the essay sound very obnoxious and annoying, really. Like, I know you want to list all of your awards because you worked hard for it, and I get it, but you have to show that in a more humble way, in a more learned way, like what you learned from it. The template should be, here I got this award, I learned this from this, and this helped me personally, and I'm really happy that I got this award. It made me feel very grateful. It made my parents proud, made me a better student, a better critical thinker. Like, go like this. Or if you're talking about your leadership skills, say for example you want to say that I was the school prefect or my college leader or anything like that. Say like, I am very honored to mention that I was the school leader of my school with the student student body of 3,000 students, and this really honed my leadership skills. It made me improve my social skills. It made me meet with a lot of different kind of people and taught me how to deal with different sorts of people diplomatically. And write like this, do not list your achievements obnoxiously. That's what I'm saying. Next, Korean universities really want to know about your goal. Like, why do you want to do this? Why do you want to leave your country to come here? Why should we take you? So the questions, you have to answer them very critically and like to the point. You can say important reasons. You can mention it very diplomatically, like the major that I am interested in or the subject that I am interested in is not available in my country, or that specific field is not very developed in my country. But from what I've heard and researched, Korean universities and your university offer a better opportunity in this field. That's why I want to apply in this field instead of my country. So I choose your country, your university over my country and universities in my country, because your major stands more prestigious and more top in worldwide and all of that. So go like that. Do not be vague about it. Please do not be like a Korea boo and go like, I love Korea, so that's why I want to apply there. No, be specific. Be specific with your major. For example, I applied for chemistry, right? So I was very into chemistry, but I knew that chemistry in their field was one of the top in the whole world in Seoul National University. So since I was good in chemistry, alhamdulillah, and I loved chemistry a lot, I explained it why I want to study in your university, because it holds more recognition worldwide rather than a chemistry degree in my university. And since you have better lab equipments and you have better teachers from Harvard, MIT and all of that, and Seoul National University, better academic body and better professors, I want to learn from you guys instead. Be very specific on why you want to do what. They have to know that you have a very clear objective, a very clear goal. So in every line that you're gonna write in that essay, make that very clear. Another very important question is they want to know your future plan. Like, what do you want to do, or where do you want to see yourself in 5 years and whatnot. So my personal suggestion would be, do not write stuff like I want to get a degree from your university and then I want to apply in your agencies, firms and industry. Not like that. Be smarter. Like, write that your degree is going to be so helpful and it will hold worldwide recognition, and since you offer so much knowledge, so I can use those knowledge and I want to come back to my country and use the knowledge that I have for bettering my country. So for example, for Bangladesh, everyone kind of knows about our economic situation, our financial situation, world spectrum and all of that. So it's better if you mention that since your degree will help me be better in the subject that I'm majoring in, when I come back to my country, I can significantly help to develop that sector in my country. So they're gonna be impressed that, and you want to really come back to your country, you want to help your country. That's pretty cool. But for example, you are going for a specific industry in Korea that is very reputed in just Korea, then you can say that since my major aligns with my skill sets, if I get a good degree from your university, I can also help improve your sector in your country. See, you can be very diplomatic with both options. You can either show that you are a patriot who wants to come back to the country and help the country, or you can show that you can improve their sector in their country by staying in Korea. You can go either ways, but I went for the coming back to my country and helping the people of my country, that sector, and that worked for me. So I usually suggest people to do that. Next tip is when you're going to explain your study plan, like what you plan on doing while you are studying there, and what other activities you want to do. Mention different clubs that your university offers so many good clubs and different labs and clubs that is going to improve all the skills that I want to improve. So this is a very good choice for me. You can mention that when I get into your university, I will make sure to do a good job in honing and sharpening my skills with all the clubs that you guys have. Something like this. Be very specific. You know what? You can research the clubs that those universities have. Tell them that you want to join these clubs, and since you have this sort of skills, these clubs will help you improve yourself. So be very specific in what kind of goals you want to show in your essays. Okay, another tip that I want to give is kind of controversial, but like, if you are good in Korean, it is better to mention that. Like, it's not exactly necessary or mandatory that you have to show that you are already a grandmaster in Korean. No, you don't have to do that. But if you have been learning Korean for a long time, it's better to mention that in your essay, so that they kind of know that you're not gonna have that much problem when you're coming to Korea, and they can put your name in top of many other applicants. So you can mention that if you are learning Korean for a long time. Also, I did mention that do not be a Korea boo and go like Korea is I love K-pop, that's why I came here, and Korean songs, that's why I am interested in that university. Yes, K-pop and K-drama and this whole K-entertainment arena is very popular, and you can mention it if you want. Your interest in K-pop, K-drama is not going to affect your application in a university that you want to apply to, right? You can be smarter about it in a way that Korean culture really attracts me a lot. So I have been researching about Korean culture for a really long time. Your traditions, your cuisines, those really attract me a lot, and I want to experience that culture. I'm a very adventurous person. I kind of experience your culture as well, since I have been attached to this culture for a long time. You can go in like that. Do not haphazardly like mention like wow, I love K-pop and I love K-drama. Don't go like that. I know many of you are teenagers, so you might make this mistake. That's why I'm kind of mentioning this very obvious tip, but please kind of follow that. Let's come to another tip. When they are asking you why you're choosing this major, go in 2 steps. First of all, go in a way that I'm already good in this subject. For example, I applied for chemistry. So I wrote that I always had 95% above marks in all of my chemistry exams. I am usually very good in chemistry. Chemistry attracts me. I have a chemistry with chemistry. Sorry, that was uncalled for, but yeah, that was it. I showed them that my scores are really good in the major that I am selecting. I already have a good basic knowledge and a good skill set in my major that I am choosing. Go with that one first. Show them your caliber. Like, I specifically remember I mentioned that I had 95% score in all of my chemistry exams, whether it's high school exam or school exams or board exams, all of that. Secondly, I also mentioned that I had an Olympiad award from chemistry. It was from science Olympiad, but chemistry was included. So I showed them then that I already have awards from the major that I am selecting. So I can be a useful candidate for this major. Since I have interest in this, I do better in my exams, so vis-a-vis I'm gonna do better in my major as well, hopefully. So this is how you can approach firstly in your essay when they are gonna ask what major are you choosing and why are you choosing it. In the second part of that very essay, write about what you plan on doing with that major. Like, say that since I'm already interested in this degree, I have good knowledge about this, and your university will help me gather more knowledge. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to join a specific industry. Like, you can say I want to join a pharmaceutical industry, perfume industry, or any other industry where a chemist is required. I'm just talking about my major that I selected, but you can go with yours. For example, you want to get in a medical school in Seoul National University, for example. So then you can say that I already have good grades in biology exams, and I have good grades in all my science exams. Here are my GPA from this subject. They are very good, and I got A plus, I got star marks from this subject, so I'm usually good in this. I have awards in science fairs, so I'm good in science. So I want to go do this, and I have volunteer activities as well, which can show that you have this urge to help people. That's why you want to go to medical sector. You can move to the second part of the essay and write about how you are going to use that degree to come back to your country and help people, or whichever part in the world you want to help, you can explain that. So that's how you should write in your why I'm choosing this major essays, writing your awards, your achievements in that sector, and secondly, what plan you have with that major. That's how you should line up your essay from this question. Another important tip that I'm going to say is you're going to have to write a high school profile for your Seoul National University application in your form, in your application. What you can do, you have to showcase how your school is really good, what is its rank in the country, how it stands out. For example, I was in an army school, so I talked about how army school taught me like discipline, manners, and punctuality, and all of that. And being in an army school really disciplined my whole life. I have been in this institution for 14 years, so I've had a good bit of training. My school was one of the top English version schools in the city, and in respect to my whole country as well. So if you are in a good school, please like show off how good your school is. Like, talk about the number of your students in your school, very respected teachers you have in your school, and show them what kind of clubs you have, what kind of other opportunities your school offers. Talk about how you guys have many extracurricular opportunities and whatnot. And now, this is also an opportunity. If you are not in a school which offers many extracurricular activities, mention this here. You can use it as a reason why, if you have less extracurricular activities, you can mention that since I was not fortunate enough to study in a school which offers a lot of extracurricular activities, but I still did all of these extracurricular activities. So high school profile, writing a good high school profile is really important. If you want, I can make another video writing about a high school profile and how I wrote my high school profile, and I can even show you mine if you want. So yeah, please keep that in mind if you want it. So this is also an essay that I needed for Seoul National University in UNIST as well. Also, you can actually write about different quotes if you want to, but I usually do not prefer writing quotes or famous quotes or sayings by famous people in my essays. I usually find it very cliche, but you can mention them in a creative way if you want to. For example, you can write about like a quote that is hanging in your wall for like 8 to 10 years, and you have grown up seeing that quote in your wall in your childhood bedroom for a really long time, and that kind of inspires you every day, and that quote helped shape your life and all of that. And if you can take a creative twist into mentioning quotes, then go for it. But I usually do not suggest writing quotes, but if and only if you can write them in a very creative, in a very impressive way, then go for it. I will suggest that. Now let's move on to the second part of the video, where I am going to tell you about the questions that I had to answer for Seoul National University and how I kind of answered those questions. So you can use those tips that I mentioned for this question and you can see how. So number one question that I had to answer was, in relation to your academic interest and personal experiences, please describe your motivation for your desired course. You may include information related to the preparation for your course and related academic achievements. Please state your goals while studying at Seoul National University as well as your study plan. This is exactly what I was talking about in the previous part of my video. See, here are the keywords: your academic interest and your motivation to study the desired course. So what you are going to do in this essay is you are going to show them why you like this specific course, why this course attracts you, why you want to excel in this major, and you can use that tip, you can use that template that I mentioned, that you are going to firstly mention the achievements you have in this field, and then you are going to mention that you are good in this, so you're gonna be really good in while studying in this major as well. So asked about your preparation for this course, your desired course, so you can absolutely mention what kind of preparations you've had for this major. For example, you wrote papers, you wrote newspaper articles or papers, you have a published paper regarding this course, and so you hold a very good grip in this major already. Mention those, mention how you are better than the other 100 applicants that you are going to compete against. Please let me mention that Seoul National University have a really scary acceptance rate, so this is very important for you to stand out. Mentioned in my previous part of the video while writing this essays. Number 2, please write about yourself with regard to your characteristics other than the record of your academic achievement. This section is provided to illustrate the personal aspects of each applicant. The following contents may be included in this section, though this section is not limited to that: experiences which have been influential in your life, individual perspectives on current issues, or role models or figures you respect. This is such an important, I am really jealous of all the people who are going to apply in this application period, because you can literally talk about the issue of our country. Like, you can talk about how we achieved independence again for the second time, and this time for real, hopefully, inshallah. And you can talk about that if you have went to movements, if you have gone to rallies, if you were an active participant in the movement, you can write about that. That is so good. Use this opportunity. Or you can talk about global problems, natural problems. You can even talk about political problems if you want, but that is kind of a tricky way to go. So if you can present your opinion in a very diplomatic way, in a very smart way, you can stand out. This is actually a very good opportunity for you to stand out. You can use this essay to show how you are good in critically thinking about important world issues. You can go with that. You can even, seriously, you can even go for political issues, but do not be offensive at all. Please don't be offensive. Prove your opinions why you are correct, so they can know that you're opinionated, but you're knowledgeable. You have your own opinions. You are not a carbon copy of 100 other people. You have your own opinions and you stand by them. So you can use this essay to show your personality, like how knowledgeable you are and all of that. And you can even talk about role models. You can even talk about Superman if you want. Not a problem. You can talk, but you have to be very smart about writing those. This is the essay where you have to be creative. You can even write about a fictional character. You can even write about a real life person. You can even write about a Nobel laureate. or a social worker or anyone. It can be anyone. You can even talk about your mother or your father who works really hard, and how he inspires you to be a better person. You can even go that way as well. My tip will be from this essay is, since they have mentioned that you can write about experience or individual perspective on current issues or role models, you can maybe instead of writing only one of the three aspects that they mentioned, you can write about more than one, but more than one, like in paragraphs. You can write about a role model. Lastly, you can write about a life experience. What I'm trying to say is, grab this opportunity to show your personality. Do not stick to what they're saying that you have to write about only one topic. You can choose like 2 topics, write elaborately on those topics, be very specific, have a very good rich vocabulary when you're trying to write those. And please do not plagiarize. Please just don't do that. Also, you can talk about your personality. Like, you can talk about how, if you are a person who volunteered in a lot of activities, you can show that you are a person who is always there for other people, who tries to be there for people who needs them. For example, talk about Bangladesh concept. And the third essay was, please briefly state your academic and extracurricular activities. Now, in this essay, what you are going to do is everything that I mentioned in the first part of the video. You're going to show your academics, you're gonna be humble, you're gonna be grateful, you're gonna show them, I was this, I was a school leader, I was a good student, I was the top 10 students of my school, something like that. Whatever your achievements are, you can write those. You can write about your extracurricular activities, but being humble. You can mention your experiences, what you learned from them. Even if you have mentioned these extracurricular activities in the 10 slots that I mentioned, you can still mention them in this essay as well. That's completely fine. You can do that as well. Okay, this can be a very creative essay, honestly. And this essay you can either go different ways. For example, you can write about any of your life experience. For example, it's just an example. For example, you went through a major surgery or something, and you went through like a life-death experience, and that kind of gave you a clear view on life and how much you want to utilize this second chance that you got in life. And you can elaborate on those experiences. It can be one example, and obviously not all of us have like this sort of life and death experiences, but this is just an example. Secondly, you can also talk about a global issue, like a very important current issue or something. You can talk about feminism. And the third essay was please briefly state your academic and extracurricular activities. Now, in this essay, what you are going to do is everything that I mentioned in the first part of the video. You're going to show your academics, you're gonna be humble, you're gonna be grateful, you're gonna show them, I was this, I was a school leader, I was a good student, I was the top 10 students of my school, something like that. Whatever your achievements are, you can write those. You can write about your extracurricular activities, but being humble. You can mention your experiences, what you learned from them. Even if you have mentioned these extracurricular activities in the 10 slots that I mentioned, you can still mention them in this essay as well. That's completely fine. You can do that as well. So these are the 3 essays that was there in my Seoul National University application essay. You can incorporate all the tips that I mentioned in my previous part of the video while writing this essays. If you're interested, for Seoul National Institute of Science and Technology, I had this essays. I had to write like 5 essays. Number 1, please explain how you have overcome financial or social difficulties, physical or emotional adversities which might have hindered you from studying during middle and high school. So I was applying, it was COVID era, so I kind of talked about that. That was okay. And then secondly, the second essay is please describe any unique characteristics of your school or distinctive qualities of your secondary education. This is a very important essay. This is basically your high school profile. You're gonna need this for your Seoul National University application process as well. Even the GKS scholarship essays that you're gonna write, you can apply those tips there as well. So another information that you might already know is I was in SNU. I got selected in SNU scholarship from the university itself. I did not go through the whole GKS scholarship. I did not even take the form. I did not apply there. So but I have noticed that their essays and their essay questions are literally kind of the same as of UNIST and SNU. For example, they want to write a personal statement. You have to write about your motivation, your family and education background, significant experiences, extracurricular activities, describe awards and all of that. Literally the questions are literally almost the same. So incorporate all those in whatever essay you're writing. You can incorporate the same tips in all those essays. Also, this is needless to say, another tip is writing with good vocabulary. Please do not use simple sentences. Like, make complex sentences, but obviously not too complicated that reader is gonna lose track of what you're trying to say. Don't go like that. Use good vocabulary and use Grammarly or proofreading applications and websites for checking your essays, obviously. And the next tip will be something that I've already mentioned before, is Korean essays and Western University essays are really different from each other, and try not to blend in. You can take tips from writing essays for Western universities, but Korean universities are usually more direct and focused, and they want to the point answers. So try not to be all storyliney when you're writing your Korean essays. That's gonna be my tip, unless this is an essay where it is requiring the creative side of yours. Do not go for very fancy storylines. Be to the point, be authentic, be yourself, be authentic about your achievements, your awards and experiences and all of that, and do not try to blend in with other Western university essay writing culture. That's what I will really suggest. Another thing that I want to mention beforehand is that I do not usually evaluate essays that people are writing for their application form and all of that. Many of you did send me application essays before, but I do not usually take that responsibility of evaluating your essays, because it's personally your experience and you're writing about your experience. So what I can do most is I can probably read it and kind of give you tips if I can. If I have the time and opportunity for it, I can maybe arrange it for you guys, since it's a dream come true for most of us to get into very good reputed universities. I will try to help you in ways that I can, but your essay should be your personal experience. Write it, obviously write it yourself. Do not go for agencies to write your essays. Do not go for seniors for writing your essays. I do not suggest that at all. Write your own essays, write your own personal experience, have your own personal touch in that essay. That makes it yours. This is yours. This is an essay that's talking about you. Go write it in your way. That is my final suggestion for you guys all. Anyways, I hope the tips have been helpful. This has been really mostly for Korean universities, especially Seoul National University. So if you have more questions, you can write them in the comment section and I will try to help you in any way I can. And lastly, I missed you guys. If you have any questions, do let me know, and I hope you like this video, and do consider subscribing to the channel and stay tuned for more other study tips and application videos and all of that. And even if you want to know about my med school journey, I will talk about that soon in the videos as well. So I hope you stay with me. Bye.